This is Jonathan Aguilar, Fifth Pro Boxing fans. We're here in London at the media day, I guess, for the Boxer event coming up on November 20th. With me is Sky Sports Head of Boxing Development, Adam Smith. Adam, how have you found today?
Hi, Jonathan. Yeah, very good, thank you. I've loved it, seeing some of the young starlets of the future. I think that's what November the 20th is all about. It's a chance for us to start the professional journey of one of the most outstanding amateurs I've seen in a long time in Caroline Dubois. Genuinely excited about her development, and also the Azim brothers and many more. It's a great card. You know, we've got Florian Markey, Richard Riakporhe, obviously, and Mikhail Lawal, loads on it. And I think it's it's going to be a really great night back at Wembley. Our first show was at Wembley Arena with Boxer, and that was obviously fraught with the difficulties of the Chris Eubank Jr. fight falling through, but ended up being a really good night. We've had a great night in Newcastle with Savannah Marshall topping the bill, and obviously becoming a superstar up in the northeast. It was a phenomenal sort of homecoming for her. And Shakur Stevenson last weekend with his big sort of breakout night, and things are going well. We've got the tournament in Liverpool next week, and then many more top-ranked shows as well. Jose Zebeda this week, Michaela Meyer next week. We've got obviously the Crawford-Porter fight too on November 20th. So there's a lot coming up, and busy team, and exciting times.
Just want to understand from you sort of an assessment of the first Boxer show. Obviously it was new beginnings. What did you take from that? What were you impressed with? What do you think will be different maybe come November 20th?
The first thing I'll say, it's a work in progress, and I think it will be for quite a long time. I've worked with John Wischusen for many years when he was at Matchroom, and so I know him well, and it was good to have him there on the first night, because the Boxer and Sky teams are just getting to know each other, and there's a lot of young talent and really innovative entrepreneurial skill on both sides. And I think it's going to take time, the partnership to come together. So there were a few things that we look back on from both shows that we probably want to tidy up, or maybe take a risk with or not take a risk with, but that's stuff we're working on behind the scenes, and it's key for us to look at what went right and what went wrong, and I think plenty went right, which was good, but I think there were some fights we probably maybe should have covered on in different places. Maybe the main event we want to take slightly earlier in the evening, which I think is a good thing. We're looking at what comes off the back of football. We're looking at obviously the editorial side, the operational side, and how it works from the event point of view and the TV point of view, and the difficulties sometimes that brings. But I think we're very pleased with the way it started, and we'll continue to go from strength to strength. And there were some stories on both shows, and they'll continue to be that. And the tournament's next week, so that's something different. And ask me that question in a sort of year's time, and I think we'll be looking back at it, and we'll have made various changes, and we'll have adapted, and we'll hopefully do things better than we are doing at the moment. But I think it's been a really good start.
You mentioned Shakur Stevenson obviously beat Jamel Herring on Saturday night. In terms of sort of US fights and viewing figures, how well are these shows so far? I appreciate it's only been one show, but how well are these being received here in the UK?
The American shows, the overnight shows. So we get an audience through the night, but it's a hardcore audience, obviously. The repeats are probably, you get more traffic and that sort of thing, but when you can use that, because we can use Sky Sports News to sort of tease, that sort of out on a Sunday or on a Monday as well. So the repeats of the American shows, especially that sort of early one on the Sunday, is always pretty good. But through the night, I like watching fights through the night. I'm sure you do, and I'm sure there are a hardcore audience, but that's obviously going to be low figures at 3 o'clock in the morning, unless it's a big name, and we know Crawford-Porter, for example, will do very well, but it has to be a particularly good fight. And I think Shakur Stevenson, Jamel Herring was a good fight. It was a great performance from Shakur, but I think he'll now go on to become a star, and hopefully those numbers will rise. But you do have that issue of being overnight, and that's why the more you have at sort of midnight or 1 o'clock, or you show again the next day, the more the figures are going to be boosted. But I think it's important having that option to be able to watch it live or to watch it the next day, because we're providing a lot of content from Top Rank, a lot of really, really good content, and I think it's something that we want to give our customers the choice of, watch it live or tape it and watch it the next day, or watch a repeat. But the fact that we've got them on live, I think, is really important.
One thing I was noticed from the last Boxer show was some of the fights, like Richard Riapple, was on YouTube as well as the channel. Just talk us through that sort of decision to put sort of Richard on YouTube as well as I believe he was on the main channel as well.
I think there's lots of things we're trying out. We've got a great platform. We've got the YouTube and Facebook and Sky Sports. We've got all of the digital and social platforms. We've also got Sky Showcase, Sky One. We've got Main Event when we're on it, and that's obviously the main sport of the day. And we've got Sky Sports Arena, which is where we would tend to put the sort of whole show, but often we can get it on Main Event. So the more we have, obviously, the broader it's going to be. And I think that we're trying different things out. We're trying different positions for different fighters. And as I said, it's a work in progress. So we'll see how that develops. But the most important thing is we get as many eyeballs as we can on our fighters, especially the ones we believe are going to go places. And that's why Ben and I have worked on a select stable. We lost our stable. Our stable went to Zone and Matchroom. They were our fighters, and now we've inherited a top-ranked stable, and Boxer and us are building another one. And we've got a co-promotional deal with Boxer have with Wasserman to get Chris Eubank and some of their fighters on, because they've got slots as well on the Eubank show. So that's good. And we've got to work very closely, Ben and I, on developing the stable for Boxer, and we're out shopping at the moment. But we're only going to make sure we bring to our platform the fighters we believe that are going to go and really take their chances and make the most of a huge platform like Sky Sports, and hopefully become the stars they want to be.
Just one, Chris Eubank Jr. has been, Ben Shalom did an interview with you guys saying that he wants to make the Liam Williams fight. Is that a fight that Sky like, and what sort of, there has been rumours it might be on pay-per-view. Has there been any sort of decision on that, or is that just rumours?
There's lots of rumours in boxing, aren't there? I want that fight on Sky Sports. I think Eubank against Liam Williams is a Sky Sports fight. I hope that we can have that before Christmas. I hope that Ben and Calais and Nisei and the Wasserman and Boxer teams can make that fight happen. I think it's a really good next step for Chris. I think it's a really good opportunity for Liam Williams. It's a fantastic fight. And I think it's really important that we do, Sky Sports events this year. We've got Crawford and Porter on Sky Sports. We would have had Josh Taylor, but we'll have him in February on Sky Sports. Yes, Sky Sports box office will come back for the big events. We know that. That's inevitable. It takes a lot of money to make these big fights, and sometimes you just can't do it. But I know that a fight like Eubank and Liam Williams should be on Sky Sports and should be at peak time. But let's see where we go with that. It's not up to me. I'm not making the fight. We just broadcast it.
Just one more on Anthony Joshua. Obviously, during the Usyk fight week, a lot of the discussion was about whether he would stay on Sky, move to a different platform. Has there been any sort of development on that from your end?
I don't want him to go anywhere, and I'm sure he doesn't want to either. We've come to the end of a contract, which we've done before. We've had Anthony Joshua from the very beginning. I want to finish Anthony Joshua's career on Sky. He's been sparkling for us. I hope we've been pretty outstanding for him too. I think it's worked. I don't know why he would want to leave now, why we'd want to leave. He had a defeat. He's going to come back. He's going to try and get the rematch win against Alexander Usyk. Negotiations and discussions continue behind the scenes. We're very close, Freddie Cunningham and myself and the bosses at Sky, and we all want to make it happen. So fingers and toes crossed it will. It's a business deal, so obviously until it's done, it's not done. But I'm very, very hopeful that we will continue our relationship with Anthony Joshua and for some time.
Just lastly, Alan, you mentioned the Azim brothers and Caroline Dubois. Who would you say that people may not be talking about at the moment they should look out for on these shows?
Well, there's loads. I like the look of Ebony Jones at the Wembley show last time, and George O'Connor's a real character as well. Joe Pigford, I think, is someone to keep an eye on, and we know that Bradley Ray's going to be in great fights. So there's lots of them out there, but I think for me, Caroline Dubois and Adam Azim on November 20th are ones that I'm really quite excited about.
Adam, appreciate your time. Thanks for talking to Pro Boxing Fan.